Greetings, I'm Heather Lang-Cassera. I'm Clark County, Nevada's Poet Laureate, and I'm so excited to be here with you today at the beautiful Clark County Wetlands Park. I love it here. It's one of the places where I come to read and write frequently. Just gorgeous. So I'm really excited today to have a wonderful local poet and educator here to read for us. She's one of the contributors to Sandstone and Silver, an anthology of Nevada poets who give back to our community, one of my Poet Laureate projects. So without further ado, I would like to introduce you to DeAnna Beachley. Thank you so much for being here today.
Thank you for asking me.
Oh, absolutely. So I love your poetry. It's often steeped in nature, which is, something that I love. And I was wondering if you could tell us just a little bit about what brought you to poetry or how poetry found you.
Okay. I wrote poetry when I was in school,
Awesome.
right? And then got away from it for a really long time and then came back to poetry about age 38. And then I attended a workshop that was held at the Sahara Library and just started writing and then writing and writing, and have just kept with it since then. So it's been almost 20 years now just writing.
That's awesome. I love that so much.
Yeah.
And we're so fortunate because there's so many poetry events that happen at the local libraries here in Clark County. Yeah. It's amazing. So I'm so happy to hear that. That's wonderful. So I was wondering, I'm always interested with writers and poets, how poetry works into your daily life or your weekly life, if you have any kind of practices or rituals or how it relates to the rest of your life, just anything about that.
Well, it started out that it was just whenever inspiration hit.
Yeah.
And then I went to a writer's conference, and one of the poets there, Julia Connor, who is the former Poet Laureate of Sacramento, suggested, think about doing one day, one morning, right? And make that a commitment, and don't answer your phone, don't do that. So it started with just that one day. And then that turned into 2 days a week.
Yeah.
And I find that I'm able to keep with that, and it's probably been 10 years.
Oh, that's
or more,
wow.
Actually, that I've been doing that writing every 2 days a week. And then sometimes when inspiration hits, 2 o'clock in the morning.
Yes, I understand that.
But yeah, so it's just become a regular part of sort of a routine, and I am so glad that I'm keeping up with that because I need that.
Yeah. So it is such an honor to be able to include your poetry in this anthology. I absolutely love your poem. And I was wondering if you might tell us a little bit about the inspiration behind it.
Okay. A couple of years ago, I was in an online writer's workshop through the Speakeasy Project, and Rosebud Ben-Oni was my teacher.
Yeah.
And
amazing.
One of the first poetry prompts that she had, because we were supposed to write 2 poems a week, was to write a self-portrait about what we are not.
I love that so much.
And so that sort of, so one thing came, and then the other thing sort of followed, and then I tinkered with it, for a few months after that. So
yeah, I love that. Okay, so I am really thrilled to hear your poem. Would you read it for us?
Absolutely, absolutely. Mojave. I am not a fan of the word moist. I moved to the desert to escape the drop of sweat and the décolletage, the stickiness of hugs, the pervasive reminder of fertility, fabric rubbed between thighs. I crave open spaces, the subtlety of green, but I am not without contradictions. My home is laden with crystals, rocks, feathers, bird nests, dried bones, shells. The window blinds remain down. I want my sky unencumbered by trees and tall buildings, to see my scars visible on the page. Thrust faults carry the weight of the past. Décollements reveal the weakness. lay it all out there to be desiccated by the sun.
Oh, that's so gorgeous. Thank you so much for sharing that with us.
Thank you. Thank you for asking me. I appreciate that.
Yes, so beautiful. And thank you for being here with us today and for everything you do for our community as an educator. I appreciate you.
Thank you. Thank you.
So, thank you so much for joining us today for poetry at the Clark County Wetlands Park. I highly recommend coming here and, just doing a little writing or reading. So beautiful. Also, April is Poetry Month, huge thing to celebrate. If you are looking for more poetry opportunities, I'll remind you of just, let's say, one of the many events that happens every first Tuesday of the month at 6 p.m. at the West Charleston Library. I co-host Poet Laureate and Pals Open Mic. You can bring a poem or two, a friend or two, or if you'd prefer, you can just bring yourself to listen. We would absolutely love to have you there. Of course, it's free and open to the public, and we have a really good time. If you'd like to find other poetry events, you can visit the Clark County Parks website and click on the Poet Laureate icon. We keep a calendar up to date, but I definitely hope to see you out and about for poetry during Poetry Month. Thanks so much.